Hello and welcome back to Aston Martin's journey through F1 Manager 2022. We're still in 2022, of course, but it's Monaco now, referred to as the crown jewel of the calendar. Figured I'd dress appropriately for the occasion. But let's not waste any more time. Those of you that are well versed in F1 knowledge will of course know that Monaco is a particularly tight, twisty, slow circuit. A circuit that favours low speed in general. And if I show you our car's specific performances in each area, you can see there, under cornering, low speed 11th, which effectively means we are the 6th best car on the grid because our two cars are 11th and 12th. And in terms of dirty air cornering, we're also 7th in that respect. So if we get ourselves in a good position via qualifying, overtaking is almost non-existent in Monaco. So this is going to be all on qualifying and tyre strategy, or pit stop strategy to be precise. I've already prepared our targets. I've said qualifying position. These have changed, by the way. These have swapped over. I don't really know why. The mandatory or the non-negotiable one, which doesn't have a downside, now says reach Q2, fastest lap, and qualifying position streak with both cars in the top 15. Both cars in the top 15 qualifying-wise, not happening. Might explain why I didn't have the streak active last race, because this challenge here, where there was only one driver in the top 15, ran out after that race. There is no indication at all that there is a timer on these challenges, but it seems there is one. I have popped in the finished position streak. It's a big gamble. It's a big loss, kinda, if we don't get it. But one driver in the top 15 in the next 5 races, I think it's doable now. And don't forget, we're getting a new part as well for Azerbaijan, so I think it's doable. I've also popped in the optional finish position of one driver in the top 15 and one driver in the top 15 qualifying. Q2 is the mandatory one, but that's effectively the same thing. So there's a bit on the line, but the reward is nice.
Cars have been racing through Monaco's streets since 1929, and this weekend is no exception, as we get to watch the new generation of world-class drivers take over Monte Carlo. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco is famous for its many narrow twists and corners, from the brake-heavy La Rascasse to the treacherous Sand of Ott. There are no proper straights to speak of, and it's extremely hard to overtake here. It sounds like simple advice, but getting up as high on that starting grid as possible is the best plan of attack. The competition is on.
So as always, practice will not be shown, although qualifying, heavy rain. Oh dear lord. Now, fingers crossed that heavy rain is qualifying and not practice 3, because a wet qualifying here in Monaco, with that lack of overtaking possibilities, we could do very well indeed. Of course, rain slows things down and we're better when we're slow. Let's find out. So qualifying, hard to tell really. Seems like Vettel might be faster than Danny Rick. It's not a lot in it ahead of that. Practice in Monaco was a little bit weird just because people kept getting stuck behind Williams as they were going round, so they were holding everyone up every now and then. So it's hard to know what everyone's actual pace is. I think some people have got some clear laps out, so Magnussen, Haas seem to have brought some kind of upgrade, annoyingly, as has Alfa Romeo maybe. Alpine struggling a little bit more. We did a little bit of looking at competitive teams, or competitor teams at the end of after I finished recording, and the Alpine is actually worse than us in low speed corners. And it's kind of showing. I mean, overall pace for the Alpine obviously keeps them ahead seemingly, but it is showing that they seem to be struggling a little bit more than other teams at the moment. It's the full Monty for both drivers. 100%, 100%, 100%. 15 out of 15. And there was no rain in that practice either, I've just realised, so wet qualifying might actually be the thing. Appears to be dry to start with, so getting a lap in first, crucial.
Radio check.
Don't care, you're going straight out. Alpine's already had the same thought. The Alpine should still be faster than us, so that should be fine. Stroll is next out, we're good. So both cars on track straight away, basically. If this rain does come, 5 minutes, still 5% though. It might come at the end of the session. Waiting a few minutes could even be the sensible thing to do here, but it's Monaco as well, crashes can happen. It's good to get a lap on the board here. I'm just keeping an eye on that pit lane and nobody appears to be moving, so we are good to go with both drivers. No one's going to come out and ruin our laps, it seems. The Alpine on track ahead of us, of course, is also on a flying lap. They came out before us originally. I don't know which driver it is, but we're on board with Vettel as he starts his flying lap here in Monaco. I mean, Monaco does look fantastic here. Into the hairpin. I really wish I could remember the corner names. Sand of Ott I can't forget, and the swimming pool, but otherwise, through the tunnel, down the hill. This, I think, is the swimming pool. Might get it wrong. Could be the next one. I can never remember which one's which. To the left, right, and then the right, left. And into the final 2 corners goes Sebastian Vettel. No, still no one else has really come out here. One of the Mercedes, and I think that might be both Williams have come out. Alonso puts in a 111.8. Vettel puts in a 112.6, if my maths is correct. And Stroll with a 112.8. Now, obviously, we have no idea how representative that is. Only Alonso's done a lap. Ooh, Danny Rick just held up Hamilton. Stroll's done something. Stroll's locked up. We'll have to watch this to see if there's any damage. I think he's locked up in a nice place.
That
Yeah.
lockup could have cost them dearly.
That might need looking at. Latifi is 2.5 seconds off the pace. The Williams are driving by themselves. There's no way he got held up. So he either made a mistake or the Williams are genuinely 2.5 seconds off the pace. Off the pace of Alonso. I don't think the rain's coming in this session. Oh, the rain might come towards the end of this session, actually. Jesus Christ, Verstappen's done a 110.6. Well, if the rain comes, everyone's done a lap, and the rain, I don't think, is coming before the end of the session. It's 2 minutes and there's 35% chance still, but it does seem to be fine. There's no rain now, and there's only 3.5 minutes left of the session. It's a 1 minute, well, 10 if you're Verstappen lap. Ridiculous time. There are some notable question marks behind us, largely Hamilton and Norris. Ricciardo, I don't know if that is legitimate pace from Ricciardo. And same with Gasly. You have to presume Gasly's being held up because Tsunoda's gone faster than him. And Perez obviously has been held up too. But depending on this rain chance, it could be sensible to get our drivers out at the front of the pack here in Monaco. So I'm going to send Stroll out first because he's the one more in danger if rain does come. Someone's had the idea ahead of us. Try and make sure we get our car behind a slower one at least. A faster one at least. Don't want it behind a slow one, Jesus. Stroll's come out behind an AlphaTauri now. Depending on which one AlphaTauri it is, we might be okay. If it's Gasly, he's going to be going great guns. If it's Tsunoda, he could go tactical. Vettel's still not actually got out. Vettel is ahead of a Williams. I see that. That's good news. And behind an Alpine, I think. So Vettel's in a decent spot too. But if rain comes or there's an instant on this flying lap, both drivers are through. And we'll go on board with Stroll as he enters Sandoval and round the corner and up the hill. Is this Casino? I think this might be Casino. I don't know. Anyway, down the hill again. Raskas is somewhere around here. I really should have learned these before I got here. What a team principal I am. But anyway, heading towards the tunnel now. Do not make a mistake here. Someone had an off there in practice. I'm trying to remember who it was. But to the left, oh, the clouds have darkened. The rain isn't starting just yet, but qualifying 2, should it happen, will involve rain, I think. I mean, qualifying 2 will happen, just whether we're in it or not. All right, people across the line, those people are irrelevant. It's Verstappen and Leclerc, and they have improved on their time. So at the very least, times should be improving. Stroll's gone faster in the second sector. Vettel didn't even do a first sector, apparently. That's broken. Stroll went 1,000th of a second faster than he did in his first lap, and he's out. What are you doing, Lance Stroll? I should be on board with Vettel here as he crosses the line. Oh, Vettel pips Ricciardo to the post, but Zhou's still yet to cross the line. At the very least, we're sandwiching another car behind us. Damn it, Guan Yu Zhou. Or Zhou Guan Yu, sorry. I really thought we'd be good here. We are better than so many cars in low speed. That is gutting, because it's going to rain next as well.
Aston Martin did a good job during qualifying.
No, we didn't, Karun. No, we didn't.
So as the drivers prepare to weave their way around the streets of Monaco, you have to think there'll be twists and turns aplenty.
An overcast day, partly cloudy, no inclination of rain on the forecast. So our forecast is only 60% though, and I really need to see the final qualifying. Not that wild, really. It looks like qualifying 3 might have been. It looks like it never actually rained. Well, that makes me feel better. Anyway, unless for some reason it didn't simulate weather once we got knocked out. Either there was enough time to do a dry run in both sessions, or it didn't rain at all. So that makes me feel a bit better, and it also makes me feel a bit better that Guan Yu, so I'll get it right eventually. Zhou Guan Yu did get into Q3. So if you're going to knock us out, at least get to Q3, Zhou, and you did. Thank you for that at least. Right, tactics are at play here with the strategies. Soft to hard barely keeps them above 30% on either driver. Now, Vettel is a little bit kinder on his tyres, so I think the medium to hard he'll be okay with. And even then, the mediums are barely going to survive by the time he pits. Doing the reverse with Lance Stroll, just in the vain hope that some of the earlier pitters will end up behind him and he'll hold them up for Vettel. Points, still unlikely.
The drivers have now taken position on the grid, and it's looking like a cloudy day. There's Sebastian Vettel. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. There's Lance Stroll, down the grid. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. Will their hard work pay off today. It's time for one of the most exciting races in the world. This is the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
So, early days, there's a Sebastian Vettel on the outside of... Whoops, done it again, haven't I? I've been so good, I remembered the last race and then forgot to do it here. Sebastian Vettel has got Mick Schumacher off the first lap. Stroll is still behind Ricciardo, unfortunately, as we go one by one into the hairpin. To right-hand side, through the tunnel. How is Vettel a second off someone here? What? How is that a second off? How odd. Anyway, on board with Sebastian Vettel as we go around the back end of the lap.
This is good.
Mick's got Ricciardo. Stroll's got Ricciardo in the swimming pool section. Latifi is 2 seconds off Ricciardo already. We'll watch that replay. We didn't see it live.
Let's have a look.
He's actually got him on the outs of that straight. Lance Stroll on the hards, do not forget. Ricciardo on the mediums. Taking places as early as possible, crucial here. Sebastian Vettel is looking at the back of and he's gone in Sebastian Ocon. Esteban Ocon into Sander Vogt. Nothing crazy, although he's got the line. He might back out here just because AI. Yep, did. I could sense that one coming. Just from the way the Alpine was moving. He was just going to force Seb to back out there. That wouldn't really happen in real life. You give him the space. But down into the hairpin again. Ricciardo not even holding onto the back of Stroll. Ricciardo's really struggling in Monaco. I know the DRS is barely a thing in Monaco, but Ricciardo's at risk of not being in it when it does activate. So Sebastian Vettel following the Alpine through here, not really positioning himself in a way they can get past. Having a little nosy, not really doing anything. Oh, what the? Sebastian, don't give me a heart attack. Well, he went through the barrier there. That seems to be a problem. Sebastian making his O-lines in Monaco. Round the outside.
DRS is
Still
enabled.
on the outside.
DRS is enabled.
Stroll got Schumacher in the background. We'll watch that quickly.
Let's take a closer look.
He's done exactly the same thing to Schumacher as he did Ricciardo, and now he's the direct car behind Vettel.
A bold move indeed.
Right then, back on board with Sebastian Vettel now, and still looking at Ocon. Right, come on then. It's a train with what? Tsunoda. Norris is leading this sector. Okay, Norris is leading this bunch. The McLaren seem to be really bad here, but Norris is getting the most out of it, that's for sure. I almost just kind of want to let Esteban have a go at Tsunoda. The good news is though, Stroll is on the back of Vettel here, so but if everything sort of stays status quo and he stays within a pit stop of any soft runners, which is most people, if they pit behind Stroll, we can use Stroll to hold them all up. It's only Alonso on the same strategy as Vettel. That matters. Perez and Hamilton not in our fight. Mick and Ricciardo behind on the same strategy, but they're behind. So we'll let Ocon and Tsunoda fight for the time being. Stay in their DRS range. Stroll, stay in their DRS range, Stroll. You're on minus so many laps of things done already, but good lord. I know the DRS is barely anything, but come on, stay in it. Like Ricciardo hasn't. We are 4 laps into this race in Monaco, and the Williams are nearly 7 seconds off Ricciardo. Completing 5 laps, they are 25 seconds off the lead. They are 5 seconds a lap worse than the leader. To anyone doing Williams, you have my sympathies. I know you'll be closer than they are as an AI, but still. I mean, I'm burning fuel at the moment, but we'll get it back. It's Monaco. You can go slow at some point and hold someone up. I'll just test with Stroll first. I want to see how badly, / if at all, Stroll falls off here. I mean, he's pushing his tyres as well at this stage. I mean, it is Monaco. We can hold people up if we have to. There might be a safety car at some point. It might rain. Is Seb still actually on track, even on aggressive, for the tyres? He's got a little bit of wiggle room at the end, and bear in mind, he'll probably get lapped. Seb might be okay to go on aggressive on these mediums, just because he's a little bit kinder on his tyres. Stroll, on the other hand, again, he's got a little bit of wiggle. He's got a little bit of wiggle room at the other end, so I'm happy to let them push at this point, just to keep them in the ranges of everyone else. Norris has fallen off Alonso, so yeah, the McLaren's struggling. Ricciardo's fallen off the back of even Mick Schumacher in 17th there, so Ricciardo in 18th and seemingly just happy to stay 18th because he's not really doing anything otherwise. Oh, poor Ricciardo. George Russell can't stay on the back of Bottas. Remarkable. Charles Leclerc leads his home Grand Prix. Hi, Charles. Just going to test how badly Harvest does. Just monitoring lap time of Vettel, seeing how much Harvest recovers. Because if we can recover a little bit, we could maybe try and nab Ocon at some point. provided he stays within range even whilst harvesting. Concerning already. Well, we might as well actually make them both harvest at the same time because they're not going to run into the back of each other. So get in the range. Make sure they're in the range by the detection point. Wasn't seemingly in the detection point. That's unfortunate. But those soft tires will go off first, just in case it comes as an issue. Just do a moderate amount of harvesting. We won't get them back up to full. We'll try and get them to deploy again and get back into DRS range and then harvest for a little bit, get them back into DRS range, and so on and so forth. Because then at some point we can maybe try and deploy as those soft tires go off. Stroll has inexplicably fallen off the back of Vettel, so I'm just having to make him deploy for a little bit to get back in range. And he's also broken the 1 second on Mick Schumacher in the process. They're on exactly the same amount of fuel load, and yet Vettel is on plus 1.4 and Stroll's on minus 5.5. How could they have 7 laps difference in fuel when they have the same amount of fuel? I mean, I know it's the visual thing, but it's slightly irritating. It's not the biggest issue with the game, and there aren't really any huge issues, I don't feel, at this point, but it's just little things that provide minor irritations in minor moments. I do wonder if this is more a simulation rather than a suggestion of how much fuel is left. I wonder if this is more of a simulation, say, at this level of usage, you'll have 2 extra laps. At this level of usage, you'll have minimum of 5 laps. Because that would make sense if that's what that meant, rather than you have that many laps extra or negative at this point in time. If it was a projection, not a comparison, that would make sense. But as far as I'm aware, it's just a straight up, this is how much more you've got right now. That's how it's suggested. But as we sort of roll around a little bit, the first pit stops for the soft runners won't be too far off, I don't think. It's 14 laps for the medium, so the soft would be a little bit nearer. I say not that far off, it's probably still about 10 laps. I just want to say, for those that watch this on YouTube, typically at 3 p.m, I'll be live on Twitch with more races. I'm pulling double duty as of this Monaco Grand Prix, so I'm going to be getting more and more ahead on Twitch than I will be on YouTube, just so I can bank up enough Grand Prix to go live on YouTube whilst I'm away soon. So if you want to get completely up to date, follow me on Twitch, watch me on Twitch, 3 p.m. every day, and then sometimes later in the evening as well, just as I build up a few more over the next few days. Also, I won't be suited for any other race. It's Monaco. It's a one-off. And as we begin lap 17 on our own, the Williams are 20 seconds and 10 seconds off at the back. 17 laps into this race, Charles Leclerc has Latifi in his sights. Probably. There he is. What is... In the time that it's taken Charles Leclerc to do 18 laps, Latifi's just about managed 17. That is depressing. There's 78 laps in this race. If my maths is correct, Latifi will be lapped 4 times. Latifi is pulling the hard to soft routine though, so Charles Leclerc literally just drives into Latifi. He's going that slowly. Actually, where did they let lapped cars through? There. Oh, Vettel's fallen off the back of Ocon. Meanwhile, while I got distracted by Latifi, and back in. And then Stroll fell out in the process of doing that. Okay, we've managed to get both drivers back in the DRS train at least. Norris is 12 seconds off Alonso. Genuinely, Norris might single-handedly ruin our plan. I don't know how long a pit stop is in Monaco. I forgot to look, even though it was crucial to our plans. But we need as many soft runners as possible when they pit to come out behind Stroll. If we assume a pit stop's around 20 seconds, everyone from Russell downwards is still in danger as things stand. Bottas is safe. Bottas is safe, but Bottas might be first to go just because he's on 51. Just need to keep Stroll in range of everyone. I can't harvest either, which is the annoying thing, because I'm in the train. Because as soon as I start harvesting, they fall out of it. Might harvest a bit on Vettel. But then as soon as I harvest, I have to deploy again, so... I think he's done alright, actually, Vettel there. Stroll struggles a little bit more. We've managed to harvest a little bit more ERS on both drivers, not by much. The fuel I'm going to have to deal with as well, I've just realised. And the first soft pitter is in.
Copy.
It is Verstappen. He was the worst tyre-wise to begin with, so Verstappen is in, and that it could be huge for the actual race lead, because he's first in, could undercut. He's coming by himself. Neither of the Ferraris reacted. Although Sainz may have pit first, actually, now I think about it. Sainz and Verstappen pitted together, actually. Or Sainz pit the lap before, and I didn't notice. But either way, Sainz must have been way off. So the gap to lead from Leclerc, we can use this actually to work out how far the pit stops matter, because Leclerc probably going to pit now, and Verstappen is 18 seconds off the lead. The undercut is powerful here. Both Williams have now been lapped, and we're still looking at the back of Esteban Ocon, who himself must not be far off. Our window opens in 2 laps, There goes Bottas, the next worst soft tyre-wise, along with Russell, Magnussen, Gasly. Zhou can't because Bottas is, although they might be able to double stack the Alphas because they're that far apart. They haven't done, but they could have. I do reckon that they've got outside of the range of Stroll. Yeah, they're miles ahead. Well, we knew Bottas was miles ahead, actually. It's this batch. Ocon pit as well, along with Norris, which is crucial. Why are you letting him out? Oh, God, Stroll had a weird moment there. He went through the vehicle. Why are you letting them out? Well, that somewhat ruins the plan, doesn't it, if you just let them past when they're in the pit lane? Why have you slowed down for vehicles that are still in the pit lane? Leclerc actually has come in. I didn't see what the gap was, actually, when he pit, but he has come out with Verstappen, so the pit time must only be about 18 seconds. We'll try and track someone here that's coming to the pits. No one else appears to be pitting in our batch. Zhou Guanyu, is he going to end up behind Vettel, or are we just going to let him out as well? No, we're good. We got past Zhou Guanyu. That's the start. Tsunoda still needs to pit, so... I mean, barest minimum, we could try and force 11th here by forcing Zhou backwards. I mean, we get rewards for being 15th or better, so as long as we're 15th or better, that's fine. Norris might get held up by Ricciardo, ironically. We don't even need to play tactics with Norris and Ocon, I don't think, because they're going to catch Ricciardo, and Ricciardo's going to hold them up, because the other teams don't do team orders as far as I'm aware. We can't keep on the back of Magnussen, because he's got fresh tyres. Vettel's not far off needing to pit. In fact, I could pit Vettel now, because his tyres are going to go off soon.
Tsunoda is pitting this lap.
Vettel staring at the back of... That's a Williams. I thought Magnussen looked remarkably close for 2 seconds gap. It's not Magnussen. So, as an Aston Martin, we're about to lap a Williams on lap 32. Bye, Latifi. Your Canadian brother's coming through behind. Don't hold him up. You've held him up. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. Ow. Ow. I mean, Stroll's got away with hitting both barriers there. Somewhat alarming. What's happened back here? Why is the order behind Ricciardo now Ocon, Tsunoda, Norris? Tsunoda pitted and obviously came out back here somewhere. So in the process of Tsunoda coming out, it seems like Ocon cleared Norris. And in regards to actually pitting Vettel, the best thing to do here is actually look at lap times. So Vettel's putting in a 117.5, Ocon's just putting in a 116.6. Tsunoda clearly held Norris up. There's been an incident. It's just a lock-up, it seems. Nope.
Now, just
A little bit more than a lock-up.
Here.
This is turn 1. It's...
That crash is terrible news for the team.
Yeah, absolute tragedy.
Bitter blow for the team, and it may have really hurt their overall chance.
Literally didn't change anything. Alonso's in the pit, but that really doesn't matter at this stage. If I pit now, he comes out 18th. I'm actually pausing. Stroll did a 119. Oh, because he got held up by Latifi, didn't he? If I'm to pit Vettel now, he could clear Tsunoda, because it's saying 18th, and if it has the same issue that Vettel had with letting other people out of the pit lane, if the AI do the same thing, they might let him out. Pit.
Box.
It's a bold choice, but we're going for it. He was literally there as well. I was looking at the wrong driver. Danny Rick and Mick Schumacher pitted as well, so they weren't going to hold anyone up either at this stage. Oh, I thought he just let Mick through there. That threw me off. Right. Keep an eye on the left-hand side. Who's coming through, and are they going to let Seb out? No. So we stopped to let them out, but, you know, same position, effectively. Well, that's annoying. Could have let Seb run a few more laps, but at least we headed off Mick Schumacher, who was a danger. So everyone's on hards now, but people need to pit because they started on them. Stroll started on them. Latifi started on them. I swear there was someone else who started on hards. How can the tyres be getting warm? You're on standard push on these. I was a little confused how Vettel ended up 10 seconds behind Norris there briefly, but it's updated. Get in the DRS range, Seb. I'm not going to specifically tell Stroll to hold people up, by the way. And Seb's in DRS. We've caught a Williams again. That might be why he's caught up so dramatically already, but... Well, that's it. Hold me up. Again. I know we're direct rivals at this point, Williams, but come on. That's your idea of letting someone by. Go on the inside of a court... Sebastian, I think Monaco might have a few clipping issues, I dare say. I just realised I've been off camera for this ages. It was from the Hamilton incident, wasn't it? That's when I turned it off. But yeah, Vettel now back in range with Norris. Stroll keeping... Ocon is catching Zhou. How many more laps until Stroll pits? It's only 6 window. So if we pit Stroll now, he comes out behind Mick again. He is... Well, it's hard to tell because Danny Rick's been lapped now, so at least 20 then. And if he begins to hold people up... Seb actually came in on the correct lap, I now realise. I think. I thought I pitted slightly early there, but we're okay. Everyone from Hamilton down to Alonso are just sort of driving by themselves. They're not in DRS range of anyone else. And nor do they have anyone in DRS range behind them. They're all having a lovely Sunday afternoon drive. No rain, no major crashes. 40 laps in, almost. This is the television watcher's worst nightmare, Monaco, where basically nothing happens. So the good news is Vettel will be 15th no matter what here because Stroll has to pit and we'll be behind him. I had high hopes for Monaco with our good low corners situation, because that was where we were getting lap time in Miami and Spain in particular, was the twisty chicaney sections. And yet Monaco, which is just entirely that. How have you managed that, Stroll? How have you let someone by? How did you allow that to happen at Monaco?
There we have Joe.
First corner. All right. Oh, Lance. Do it back. Get him back. He didn't do it back. Right, Vettel is in an awkward spot. Perez is coming round. So Vettel is going to have to yield in the tunnel, and then hopefully Perez can yield someone else. Oh, there goes Perez. Right, there's Norris. Vettel, get him. Vettel's fallen off Tsunoda, I've just realised. Norris has fallen off Tsunoda, I now realise. That might be just because of the lapping, but we don't really have a lot of ERS. Well, that's annoying. Oh, and Verstappen's right behind as well, isn't he? Yeah. There's 4 of them. Well, harvest while they let them all through, Seb. Just harvest.
Sure keep them behind.
There's still one more to come, I think? No, I think they've got them all now. I think they're all through now, so we'll push. Try and follow these cars through a bit. Do we get DRS? Are we vaguely in range? No, doesn't seem like it. Well, there's no point holding them behind if there's no car behind anymore. Lance is there. Operation Hold Up hasn't really worked, has it? Same place as Joe did. Irritating. Fairly standard for Monaco, really. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, Operation Hold Up hasn't worked at all. Well, there's Norris, actually. Seb, get him, Seb. We're about to lap someone else, actually, I think, in the process. Because someone else has got out of the way. Who is... Oh, it's Tsunoda. Tsunoda's been forced back into Norris as well. And I don't know how he just burned all his battery there. That is weird. He had a little bit from harvesting, and he's just burnt it all in non-overtake places, evidently. Seb, what are you doing? Why are you so uncompetitive now? Well, that plan not worked. All right, pit window for Lance. Not in it yet. Well, this is depressing, just watching these go round and round. Can someone crash, please? I'm going to give Lance Stroll another couple of laps, just so he's got fresher mediums on. So Stroll into the pits on lap 49, or 48 for him, I imagine. The plan didn't quite work. Hopefully, we're still ahead of Ricciardo here. At the very least, he might do the yield thing that happened to us. He did not. Neither did the Williams. We did there, though, thankfully. That Williams is a lap down, though. I've just pitted Stroll, and he has come out a lap ahead of Albon still. How's Vettel doing in terms of place? So I need to get him back into range. Oh, he's just been lapped by Hamilton. That's the issue. Follow Hamilton through. Seb, follow him through. Sebastian, go for it. You've got the run, Seb. You've got the run. Do it. Do the overtake here, Sebastian. Do the overtake here, Sebastian. Why aren't you doing the overtake, Sebastian? Why aren't you even looking, Sebastian? What is wrong with you, Sebastian? Are you feeling okay? Did you catch something off Lando? What's the point of even deploying? Come on. Get him. Get him, Sebastian. If it was F122, you'd get him there. Or there. Like, there's only one DRS zone. It's on the main straight, so you can get him out of the tunnel and in the swimming pool region. Well, you're having a look here. I do notice that. I appreciate that much. Go on, go on. Get the... I mean, there's a barrier there, Sebastian. There's one there too. And there's one there as well. 1.5 laps of deploy. But we got there. I'll see if he goes through the barriers in non-first person. Oh, excellent camera work there from the cameraman. I mean, half that move, it does go through the barriers. Half that move's done in the chicane. I don't know why it starts there. That's Norris finally cleared, though. Tsunoda, switching left and right. Go on, Seb. Go on, Seb. You're not even deploying anymore. Go on. Never mind. Just be sensible. You know what? I might ask him to deploy in the tunnel area. I'm not even going to say overtake. Just deploy in this section. See if he can get a run. He did not get a run. Might get a run into the final area through this chicane. Position himself here in the final corners. Nope. On the main straight. So Norris is nearly out of DRS range, so you're not going to have any worries from behind, Seb. What are we doing, Sebastian? Come on. We might get 13th. And it won't... I mean, 13th isn't a horrible result if we get it. It's not really a lot happening at all here. Stroll's catching Ricciardo. So in harvest deploy cycles, Stroll might catch Ricciardo here at least. He's got within 1.5. Harvest again. Vettel's still stuck behind Tsunoda, who effectively has given Ocon a full pit stop's worth of space by being so bloody slow on the hards. Just trying to tactically charge up with Vettel now. See if he can do it. See if he can get the AlphaTauri. Yeah, so Stroll's lost a little bit on Ricciardo whilst he harvests, but as he deploys again, he'll get back in range. Right then, we've got a little bit to work with Vettel here. Have we just all been lapped by something as well, or are we about to lap something? No, that's Bottas who's just come through us all, I think. So full attack in this section, Seb. I know you can do it. 16 laps to go after this. Thank you for the interruption, Lance. But you can deploy again now. Oh god, he actually fell miles off Ricardo doing that. Sebastian, come on. What are we doing, Sebastian? Oh, there's been a crash. There's been a crash. I think it's up front. I don't think there's much reason not to pit. Lance is struggling to get on the back of Ricardo, so I might as well just slap him on a pair of softs and see what happens. Vettel doesn't have that luxury.
No DRS.
It did look like it was up the front. It's Verstappen who's crashed. It did look like it was this fight on the minimap because they'd gone, oh dear, Verstappen.
There's the crash.
Doesn't appear to have done any lasting damage, but the car comes in.
And the team had such high
I'm more
hopes
interested to
today.
see what happened to the car that came in on that. I don't know whether I can actually conserve or anything here.
Copy.
Because he might still fall off.
You can do what you want.
But yeah, miles of harvest, lads. Yeah, because you can still go lower in a VSC. Stroll still had plenty of ERS anyway. This is what I mean. VSC, we're losing time. Sebastian, I need you to stay in range, you fool.
Happy to push.
Why are they not slowing down? Like, I'm actually going to have to go aggressive on the tyres to get back in range here. Verstappen's obviously come into the pits, but he is a lap ahead, so irrelevant. What a stupid system the VSC is. I'm having to push just to get in range of Tsunoda again. I mean, I can push anyway, I think, so it doesn't really matter, but... Well, at least neutral will help me probably come off the tyres. We're all in the same boat tyre-wise, aren't we, pretty much? Yeah.
Okay, happy to...
High 50, 60.
Copy.
Sights might be in a bit of bother. How long is this VSC lasting for? As soon as I ask. Normal racing resumed. Get him!
Use energy if you need it. Use energy.
There is a car to lap here, which is a bit awkward, but if we can get him before this lapping situation. Don't ruin us again, Williams. I don't know which one it is this time, but don't get us again. Help us, Williams, help us. He's helped us, I think, weirdly. No, he hasn't. He's ruined it again. Get out of the way, Williams. What are you doing? The good news is we do have enough charge to attack on the other side again. Come on. Interesting approach from Sebastian here on the outside. That was never going to work, and he never even tried it, really. What is Sebastian's movement here? Drop Norris, though, in the process. Come on, Seb. Make a move. You've got this you've got this ERS. Make the move. Okay, into the swimming pool chicane, I think. I think I've got that wrong. Why do you keep looking in places where you don't overtake? Look here, Sebastian. And then the one place you do normally overtake, you don't. Why is Sebastian's AI being really weird now? Why is he trying to overtake in places he's never overtaken in? And not tried in the one place he's made all his moves in this race and wasted his entire bloody ERS in the process. Well, never mind. We're taking 14th because he can't make a move on Tsunoda because he's absolutely useless.
DRS.
In fact, fuel-wise, you can stay pushing fuel-wise. And Norris has got back in range somehow. Despite being 2 seconds off, he's back in range again. Tsunoda's dropped Vettel, inexplicably. I mean, I know I'm harvesting, but still. 2.5 seconds he's dropped him by. He's actually gained time on Ocon, so I don't know if that was just from the VSC or what, but... Are we lapping the other Williams? Is that what's going on? Oh, no, someone else just lapped us. That's what happened. That's why he was so far off. Well, deploy.
So use energy if you
I don't
need
think
it.
I can deploy with the tyres anymore because I'm behind as is. Deploy to get in range and then overtake, maybe. Yeah, deploy to be in a striking position. So I need you to get closer during this section, Seb. Now overtake. Use it sensibly in overtaking places now this time. Come on, Sebastian. Get 13th.
Doing a good job. Keep pushing.
Dreaming of 13th is depressing. Didn't even do him there. Right, you're not going to make a move in the rest of this lap, are you? So just hold off here. Through the final couple of corners. Re-overtake. Now that is a run. Still, why are you going on the outside, Sebastian? The overtake's on the inside. Why is the AI doing the exact opposite thing to what he should be doing? I mean, all over the back of Tsunoda at this point. Just get past him. It shouldn't be this... I mean, I know it's Monaco, but why is he making it more difficult for himself? This is 4-time world champion Sebastian Vettel trying to get past second season Yuki Tsunoda. Who's Stroll trying to overtake? Is he trying to unlap himself on a Haas? And still did make the move. Sebastian, you're grinding my gears, Sebastian. Oh, good, you're on the inside this time. And the one time I'm not making you click the overtake button.
8 laps to go.
I'm worried about tyres now. I mean, all of us are in the vaguely the same boat. Stroll, whilst pushing on softs, still 18 seconds off Ricardo. Just been lapped by the Alonso. It's because Stroll's been ruined by the fact he's been lapped by slower cars. Cars that are barely going any faster than him. So he can't make proper progress. All right, try on the inside this time, Sebastian. I'll give you the opportunity to do it. You're miles off. What happened there? Poor run out the corner. Oh, he's gone to the outside. Now he's gone to the inside. That's two maneuvers. Get him in the pits. Give him the penalty now. So harvest a little bit. Harvest in this section. I think we've already got the harvest, so deploy out of it. That's what these two bars is it's the maximum deploy and maximum recharge. So he's got the full recharge in on this lap already. So use it out of here, Sebastian. Get the run on him, or don't. You know, whichever. Whatever you prefer. I mean, you're right on the back of him now, Seb. Just go the right way out. It's the acceleration out of that corner. The AlphaTauri is unreal out of that corner. I give up. Watch Seb just do it on his own now. I'm going to go for one final last lap push with Seb. Harvest, harvest, deploy, attack. Yeah, Stroll couldn't actually attack because he's stuck behind lapped cars.
Use energy.
Or cars that are lapped him.
Yeah.
Why are you not making the attacking move you've made on every other time you've done it? I know your tyres are going. I'm actually surprised the tyres lasted as well as they did. Final corner, Seb. Final corner. Push everything. Get him. Or crash into him. Basically the same thing. And yeah, because of the insane drive off the line. Oh, hello. On the line. On the line.
So this is last lap. This is last lap.
Yeah, copy.
I didn't realise there was one more lap. Might as well push on the fuel still. I mean, it said last lap. I thought we'd done.
Aston Martin.
He just was past there. It was like Sonoda thought the race was over. I thought the race was over.
Position there.
I thought he just nicked him on the line. Completely irrelevant to the grand scheme of things. 13th versus 14th, but still. We'll give Perez his due. Perez wins in Monaco. Accurate. Art imitating life. I think Stroll's crossed the line and he's 13 seconds behind Ricciardo. That didn't really work out. Miles will just deploy the remainder of the ERS just to make sure you stay ahead of Sonoda here. And round the final corner, his ERS is out, and he's put a second on Sonoda. If he just cleared Sonoda earlier, he still would have been 13th because Ocon was 20 seconds up the road. But still, it's 13th from Vettel. It was a good performance in the race, all things considered, but what a grindy, gritty, classic Monaco where nothing happened.
Sebastian Vettel with a comfortable result for his team here.
Next time, the teams will be racing through the streets of another city. Join us in Baku on the shores of the Caspian Sea for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
And you can see that race tomorrow on YouTube. It will have already happened by the time this goes live on Twitch, so apologies. Fernando Alonso, 1 point. Haas with 2. 4 for AlphaTauri again. That's the worst case scenario. And Bottas, obviously, with more points because he's stupid in the game early on. Lance Stroll, completely useless in 18th. Could have maybe nicked 17th if I hand pit him, but still depressing. Mick down 1, Lando down 3, and Seb up 3. I mean, up 3 in Monaco. Perez did it. Perez did it. Fair play. Actually puts Perez into the mix a little bit more for the title. No one really in our area. Magnussen with 2 points. That's about it. Which does, of course, give Haas 2 more points, but they are not dramatically ahead of us already. 300 points is fairly solid. That's the worst performance from Stroll so far. 2 overtakes. 9 failed overtakes. 2 overtakes for Stroll as well. Still 4 million. We may have actually got some extra bonuses because we got the finish position, but we didn't get the qualifying position. We just completed our new team hub, which is more weekly experience for the staff members, more morale and more team attractiveness as well. Once again, meeting expectations. I just check this as well. This is obviously below currently, but they are happy with our performance. Delighted, happy, happy. So fingers crossed we should be all right at the review, which isn't too far off now. Only 5 races or so. And speaking of not far off, side pods are completed in 2 days' time. There. And then before the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, we get the reports on Albon and Gasly, which means we should be able to sneak in one on Piastri, even if it won't be a complete one, in time. It's only 10 days until the chassis is complete. Literally the day before Azerbaijan, we could emergency chassis 2 things. We could go emergency on 2 chassis and bring them in. I didn't even see this one. We could have 2 upgrades for Azerbaijan and have the scouting back. And have a better helipad, so we have a better payout for Azerbaijan as well. Just realised the camera isn't really showing the green in my jacket, but never mind. I did try to colour coordinate. Monaco, disappointing. 13th. It's not bad, but Stroll's massively disappointing again, so... oh well, win some, lose some, don't even get points in some. Azerbaijan, though, could be tasty with 2 upgrades and a little bit more clarity on our driver future. I'll see you for that shortly. If you enjoyed today's episode, like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal, algorithms and all that jazz. Until then, ta-ra.